Kia ora koutou. Welcome to day one of our Conscious Manifestation Masterclass. So I haven't gone live for a while, so hopefully everything all goes okay, and I have set everything up as shown or as I can remember and after following the instructions. So I hope everything goes okay. Now I just might be a little bit early, but that's okay. I just want to make sure that everything is ka pai. So, welcome to day one. As I said before, I am really excited about sharing the information, about sharing the energies, the frequencies, the information, the downloads, the upgrades that I am going to be sharing with you over the next 2 days. So, before we get started, I just want to lay down the kaupapa or the topic of what we're actually going to do today. So today is going to be about truly understanding what conscious manifestation is and the structures of it in terms of how we are able to consciously manifest the lives that we actually want to experience. Now, conscious manifestation is really quite a popular topic and subject within the personal development arenas, but also within the spirituality arenas in terms of learning how to develop yourself, learning how to become a higher version of yourself, and learning how the spiritual worlds work. Now, I've been doing this work in spiritual realms, so I'm a spiritualist. I work as a spiritualist, a healer, a channel, and in this role as a coach, as a transformational quantum coach. Now, I've been doing this in the spiritual realms and being a spiritualist for over 20 years now, and I've heard a lot about how people can harness the structures, the mechanisms, and the skills and tools that you already have to help themselves become better versions of who they really are. But what I've noticed within those two areas, in the personal development and in the spiritual areas, there is a lot of confusion, there is a lot of distortion, and there are a lot of missing pieces for people to truly understand how they can create the reality that they truly want to create, that they truly want to experience. And I wanted to share the knowledge that I have gained over the past 20 odd years, but also especially over the past 4 years, because I've actually created a whole system and a whole system with a lot of processes that are based on all the study, all the research, all my experiences, and all the knowledge that I've gained over the past 20 years. And today is just going to be a little part of that. I just got a note that I have to do something, so I'm just going to do it now. So today's just going to be a little part of that. But today is going to be laying the foundations of how you can consciously manifest the life that you exactly want to experience. And so just imagine that creating your life is like building a house, right? Because when you build a house, you have to have a foundation. And when I'm working with my clients and with a lot of my colleagues and with other people who are wondering or who are trying to find out how manifestation actually works, one of the missing pieces that I've discovered that they are not conscious or aware of is the foundations of manifestation, which is really about creation. Manifestation is just a big flash word for creating your life or for creation. So that's the biggest piece missing, is the foundations of manifestation, but of conscious manifestation. Yeah, because once you start building your foundations, once you start laying your foundations, then you can start building your whare. And building your whare, in this analogy, refers to your physical body and how you can build it up so that you can live within an energetic universe, which is live in the whare of the universe, or live in the spiritual realms from a physical perspective as well. It's all about how you can meld the spiritual and physical worlds as one from these foundations. I've written a little bit about it in the introduction to this video, so you can read a little bit more about it. But basically that's what it is, just laying the foundations of why you can manifest anything that you want consciously. Yeah, so that's just laying the foundations. So once you've laid or put those foundations in place, you have a good base to start from, and you can actually start using all the tools that you've been given, that you were born with, to actually start creating the reality, the life that you actually want to experience. So that's basically what it's about. Day 2, which is tomorrow, is going to be about the nuts and bolts. It's about how you actually do that. It's not more about how, but it's about what you're actually manifesting and why you're actually manifesting it. Because the universe takes care of the how. The spiritual worlds take care of the how. All you have to do is truly understand what you're actually manifesting and why you're actually manifesting it. And why you're actually manifesting what you actually want, why you're actually manifesting your desires and your dreams and your goals, right? So tomorrow is going to be the nuts and bolts and all the processes, all the practices and tools that you can use to build your whare, or to build your life from these foundations that we're going to lay down and set today. Okay, so while I am talking, I'm also channeling, so I'm also receiving a lot of information from my whole spiritual whānau and my soul team. And so I will do things like this. I will pause so I can just receive the information and start interpreting it as quickly as I can. I may jumble up my words, because while I'm doing that, I'm also interpreting all the energies that the collective consciousness that are around me to help me deliver the messages to you. I'm also interpreting all of that as well. So I will pause just so I can actually just catch up with what energies are actually given me, and so I can interpret it, but also just to allow all my physical mind and body to actually catch up with the energy of what's around me and the energy that's flowing through me and out to you. Now, a channel is somebody who can actually communicate energetically, vibrationally and spiritually with other collective consciousness or other spiritual beings that are around me in this physical world, but also in other dimensions and other energetic fields that they actually exist in. So that's what a channel is, and so that's what I've been doing all day and for the last few weeks in preparation for this masterclass. The other thing that I will also do is I will use a meditative states, so meditative practices I should say, to actually allow you to be open and receptive to all the energies, all the frequencies and all the intuitions and messages that are specifically for you. So if you are watching this video, if you are listening to it, and if you are viewing it, And it doesn't matter when. It could be now, it could be tomorrow, it could be next week or next month or next year. It doesn't matter when, but I will be laying down a lot of meditative practices and tools so that when you actually do watch the video, you will be able to be open and receptive to receiving all the messages and information that are specifically for you. Yeah, and so that's one of the teaching mechanisms that we do when we're actually working from a spiritual perspective, and we're actually materializing or manifesting information into the physical realm. We actually set up an energetic container or energetic whare that I like to call around this entire kaupapa, where we can fill this whare up, fill the container up with a lot of different kinds of frequencies, different kinds of energies, different kinds of intuitions and messages from everyone that's around me, but also from all those that are around you that are going to draw you to this video. So everything's been set up for all that to happen specifically for you. Now, if you have any questions, or if you want any clarification about anything that I have said, then drop those questions or comments or feedback in the comments below this video, because we would really like to know and hear about you and where you're at and how you have found this video. The other thing too is, if you are feeling any kind of discomfort, if you are feeling any kind of tension within your body, that's absolutely perfect for you at that particular moment. What that means is that your physical body is resisting and reacting to the energies and the frequencies that you are listening to, which is really, really good. It's a perfect place to be in, because what that means is you are shifting and you are moving from the level of consciousness that you're at now. You're actually shifting from that place at that particular moment that you feel those negative emotions. You are actually shifting and your body's resisting. So when that actually happens, I just want you to breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth, and that will just release all the energy that's going through your body, especially the more negative energies, the resistance that will happen when you start listening to this video and the information that really resonates with you. Because what happens is that when you are really listening to and embodying the energies and frequencies and intuitions and messages that you resonate with, that awaken your soul, because this is what this is all about. Conscious manifestation is about awakening your soul to who you truly are, to what it truly is. So when you hear or listen to messages or information that really resonate with your soul, to actually light that spark up, then your body is going to resist. Yeah? And that's perfect. Then you know that what you're actually listening to is specifically for you. And we'll get into why that is later on in this video, but specifically more about that tomorrow. Alright, so before we start getting into the nitty-gritty of things, I just want to share a little bit about myself, especially for those who don't know who I am, especially for those who have no idea about what I do or anything about me, who've never met me before, I should say. So, my name is Christine. I live in Perth, but I am from New Zealand. I first became consciously aware of things spiritual, of things, kind of happening around me when I was about 9 years old. And so when I first had my conscious experience of things spiritually. I was 9 years old, but prior to that, I knew there was something happening around me when I was younger, but I didn't really know what it is. To me, it just was normal. So I was actually aware of that, but consciously, because to me, it was just a part of who I was. It wasn't until I was 9 years old that I really started paying attention to what was actually happening to me from a spiritual perspective, because I had fears about it. I had become quite fearful of what was actually happening to me spiritually, because one of the most prominent things that I can remember is when I was 9 years old, is when I was in bed, I used to have what I thought was ghosts pull my blankets off me while I was asleep to try and wake me up. And that happened to me quite often around that age, between I was about 9 and 10. Now, because of my upbringing, I've had these beliefs that those kind of things weren't normal, and those kind of things were from the devil or were demons and all that kind of stuff, because I grew up, excuse me, I'm going to cough. I grew up in a biracial family. So my mother was Maori. She was born in Whakatane, but she was also very, very religious. I was brought up Catholic. So from that background, from being Maori, but also growing up in a religious background, I had beliefs where I thought anything like that, where I thought anything to do with anything spiritual. We didn't call it spiritual then, it was just kind of spooky and woo-woo and all those kinds of things. I believed that they were not good to actually participate in or be part of. But I became so scared of them, of what was actually happening to me, that I used to hide in my wardrobe at night so that they couldn't find me. And it wasn't until months after all those events that my mother found me in the wardrobe, and she said the only thing that she said to me was, you need to stop sleeping in the wardrobe. My mother never swore, but she said, you need to stop sleeping in the wardrobe. She didn't ask me why I was there, she just told me not to do it. And then a couple of days after that, I was sent to my grandmother. My grandmother was a matakita. She was a seer, but I didn't know that at the time. So she was very, very proficient in anything spiritual. So she was a seer and she was a matakiti, which I had no idea of at that time. And so she sent me back to my grandmother, and I stayed there for a week. And when I came back, nothing spiritual happened to me at all. All the ghosts, as I thought they were gone. And I didn't actually have anything to do with that from that time till I was in my late 30s. So for all that time, I didn't experience anything that profound until I was in my late 30s. Now, prior to that, anything to do with anything spiritual or anything like with ghosts or anything, in my culture was never ever talked about when I was younger, because it was termed sacred and very, very tapu. And the only people that could talk about those things were like our experts, like our sages, which were our tōhunga, and people who were versed in that kind of arena. Now, spiritualism, being spiritual, was very, very entrenched in my culture. So as being Māori, we are very, very connected to the spiritual realms. But I didn't know that as a child. And so I had no idea about my culture, even about my language, or anything about that when I was growing up, because even though my mother was a native speaker, when she was growing up, it was frowned upon that she could speak her language. So she wasn't permitted, I should say, to actually speak her language, to actually be involved in her culture to the extent that they were, because of her upbringing and colonisation and all that sort of stuff. So her teaching us about how to speak Māori, and how about our culture, we didn't grow up with when we were kids. And it wasn't until in my late 30s that I started getting really entrenched in my culture. So I spent 9 years, about 9 years, from the time I was about 37, 38 maybe. I spent 9 years learning traditional Māori methods of healing. And I became a traditional Māori healer through those 9 years, where I learned everything that I needed to do, everything that I could learn about everything spiritual from a traditional Māori perspective. But I also learned that in Te Reo Māori, and that was quite difficult for me in those first few years, because I couldn't understand any Māori at all. And the Māori that I could understand, the tōhunga taught me didn't speak like that at all. So I had a really huge crash course in traditional speaking and learning and understanding traditional Māori way of speaking, a traditional Māori way of being, and a traditional Māori way of understanding the spiritual realms and how everything works. When I finished doing that, when I finished all that I could within that profession, because it was something I did constantly, I left doing that and I went into learning how to be a spiritualist. Now, spiritualist it's like going up into like master's level in terms of understanding how the spiritual works, how the spiritual worlds work. And this is when you're actually becoming more conscious of what I was doing as a traditional Māori healer, but from a different perspective, from a totally spiritual perspective, where I learned how to mediate between the spiritual and physical worlds, where I communicated a lot with other spiritual beings, which is called collective consciousness, from those spiritual beings, with those spiritual beings, I should say, who came from other dimensions and worlds and realms, which I didn't know at that time. I just knew that I could do that. I had no idea that they were from different kinds of dimensions and worlds until I was about 2 years into that. And so I did that for 14 years. So for the first 2 years of those 14 years was just another huge learning curve for me to truly understand the different structures and the different processes and mechanisms that actually exist in the universe and how to actually work with them. And I loved that. I loved working with other spiritual beings more than physical spiritual beings, because being a traditional Māori healer, when I first started, it wasn't long after I started, I had this question that I needed to discover and find out. And so the question was, why were the people that I was helping and supporting and healing, why were they returning back to me? Because from my perspective, when you are healed from a spiritual way, in a spiritual manner, using spiritual techniques, it's not necessary for a person to come back. And that question took me a long time to actually find the answers to. When I was 14 years as a spiritualist and 9 years as a traditional Māori healer, so that's about 9, 10, 11, 23 years, right? So within those 23 years, that was my one vision, my one desire that I really wanted to accomplish, was to have my whaiora, have my clients come to me only once, because then I'd know that they were able to heal themselves. And so even after those 23 years, I still hadn't quite found out the answer that I was actually comfortable with, that I could actually truly understand why people are the way they are, and why we live the way they are, and why things happen to us the way they do. So, and it wasn't until the last 4 years, the last 4 years, that I have really begun to find the answer to that question, to actually find out why can we do the things that we do, and what are we actually doing when we are doing those things. For an example, for me it was like, why can I heal other people, and what am I actually doing when I'm doing that, right? Because for all those 23 years, and after that I became a teacher and all that sort of stuff, and so those questions still didn't, that question of why are we doing the things that we do, and what are we actually doing when we're actually healing, when we're actually creating, when we're actually manifesting the things that we actually experience. And it wasn't until the 4 years ago that I actually started studying and researching ancient texts and ancient stories and histories from other Eastern and cultures. And so, but not only Eastern cultures, but also Western modalities of life, of spirituality. And so for the last 4 years, I've been studying, researching metaphysics, neuroscience, and quantum physics, and neuro-linguistic program, which is NLP. So I've been studying those 4 things for the last 4 years, and able to meld all that information that I've learned over my that I've gained and learnt from over my life with what I've actually learnt from the last 4 years. I'm able to meld it all together and answer my question about why are we doing what we are doing right now in our lives. Why do things happen the way they do, and what are we actually doing to actually cause those things to happen? And I have found out the answers to why we're actually doing those kinds of things and what we're actually doing. For me, I'm a why person. So if I'm given an idea about something, I have to know why I'm doing it and what am I actually doing. I was never like that, because I always could just do it. I just did it naturally. So everything I've learned about healing, from healing, everything I've learned about being a spiritualist and being a channel, I just knew I could do it. I had no idea how I was doing it. I just knew I could do it. So I just jumped all in and started learning all that and becoming very, very good at what I do and becoming very, very successful. But things started to fall apart in the last 4 years when I discovered the whole concept of conscious manifesting, because those 2 words, I had no idea of what they actually meant when I heard them 4 years ago, because to me they were kind of different perceptions, and I used different terms and different phrases to actually explain what conscious manifestation is. And a lot of those and a lot of the information and explanation of truly what conscious manifestation is comes from my traditional Māori epistemologies and knowledge that I learned like back in the 90s. So I hope that makes sense. And this is the foundations of all of that. This is the foundations of all the work and all the study and all my experiences that I've actually had that I am going to share with you. These are the foundations and the basics where they have to be laid down first before you can really start becoming or being a powerful conscious manifester or creator of your physical reality, of what you actually experience every day in your life. Right, so that's a big, huge explanation, but welcome, and I hope you enjoy our masterclass today, because I am really excited, more than excited. I'm really excited about being able to share this with you, because this is the first time, and we are very privileged to actually share this with you. This is the first time that I've actually shared the information that I'm going to share with you with anyone, because not even my family, because, well, I don't share it with my family because my family just think I am lost it a bit and gone a bit woo-woo and too much into the spiritual realm, especially because I live with my two sons. I live with two sons, and they just think that I'm losing it a bit and that I'm getting dementia and that kind of thing. So they are so funny. But so I don't talk to them about any of what I've been doing, and when I do, they just go, oh my God, not this again, kind of thing. And they're in their 20s, so you can understand why that is. So you, the beautiful goddesses, the beautiful souls that have drawn and that are going to be watching this video or listening to this video or viewing this video, are the first souls and people to watch and share and listen and embody this information that we're about to share. So before I start sharing the information, I want you also to know too that a lot of the information that I'm going to be sharing may be a bit over your physical comprehension in terms of your physical mind and what it can actually handle and what it can actually grasp. But that's okay, because as I said before, I will be putting you in a kind of meditative state so that your body, your physical mind will be just quietened, and it will, everything that you'll be listening to will go straight to your subconscious mind, which is the one that's more open and actually controls everything that you actually listen to. So you don't need to worry about that, because that'll be taking care of that for you. But before I start sharing what we actually can do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this masterclass up with a intention activation. So to begin with, what I'd like you to do is to think of what you would like to achieve from watching this video. So think of your intention of what would you like to receive, what would you like to find out about, what would the outcome, what result would you like from this video, and just come up with an intention of what would you like to have learnt or become more aware of after watching this video. So just think of an intention. So the intention that I created for this was, I intend to be open and receptive and allow all the frequencies and energies that I need to share with everyone to flow through me with total ease, total grace, and total flow. And so your intention could be something simple as, I intend to be open and receptive to all that I am listening to with total ease, total grace, and flow. Or I intend to be calm and mindful of how I'm feeling. Or I intend to be more aware of who I really am. So create your own intention, and while you are doing that, just pause the video for a minute, because what you can do is you just can write that down. Yeah? And then I'm going to give you like a few seconds to do that. And then when you've done that, I want you to come back And because I'm going to do an activation to actually help us manifest those intentions within the time that we are together. So just give you a few more seconds to actually write down your intention. You can pause the video to do that. I'm just going to have a drink of water. Okay. Now that you have your intention written down, or you can remember it, what I want you to do is just find a place. If you want to lie down or you can sit up, I want you to just relax in your chair or whether you're lying down, it doesn't matter. I just want you to relax a bit. Yeah, excellent. Now I want you to just close your eyes, and I want you to think of your intention and just bring that to your mind. Excellent. And I want you to take a big deep breath in through your nose. Perfect. And then exhale out through your mouth. And then take another deep breath in through your nose. And then out through your mouth. And then one more. Inhale through your nose. And then when you exhale, I want you to exhale out through your nose as well. And then just relax. Alright. So, I want you to close your eyes and just listen to my voice. And I want you to think of your intention, bring your intention to your mind's eye. And I want you to be aware of the energy that's around that intention. And when you're more aware of the energy that's around your intention, I want you to, while your eyes are closed, look down with your eyes to your heart. And while you're doing that, you're going to draw the energy that you have created, that you can feel from your intention down into your heart. That's it. Excellent. It was absolutely perfect. And when you do that, I just want you to feel that energy within your heart. That's it. Pulsate stronger. Or you may not. You may not feel nothing at all. Whatever is happening to you right now while you are doing this is absolutely perfect for you. Now what I want you to do is I want you to call in your soul team, your spiritual guides, your guardian angels, your archangels, whoever you want to bring into your space right now to support you, to help you manifest that intention during the time we are together. Now these could be however you perceive them to be. They could be ancestors, they could be your tipuna, they could be angels, archangels, right? But just know that you always have a whole spiritual whānau, a whole spiritual family around you. Even though you may not believe this, even though you may not be aware of this, that is irrelevant, because every single soul on earth has a spiritual team, has a whole spiritual family, a whole spiritual whānau around them. More importantly, every soul, every person on this planet has a guardian angel around them or with them constantly. So you may not know who your guardian angel is, but you can call them in, right? And to call them in, you can say out loud or silently to yourself, I request my guardian angel, my soul, my higher mind, my inner being, my angels, my archangels. Even if you know who they are, you can just call them in by name. Or if you have no idea about that, then just say, I call in whoever is aligned to me and is of the light. I call them into my space now with total ease and total grace and total flow to help me manifest the intention that I have just given to you all. And it's as simple as that. You can just call them in by just saying, welcome. And you can do it in any language that you like. In your native language is absolutely perfect, whatever it is for you. And you can use this, we call this a karanga, you can use this call in any way that you like. You can say it like a prayer, but be careful of that. You can say it like a prayer or a welcome, because what you're doing is you're inviting those spiritual beings into your space, into your energetic field. Now, why you do this is because you have to give them permission to come into your space. No other spiritual, energetic, or anything outside your physical realm, anything outside your energetic field can come into your energetic space without permission. And I know this may go against everything that you believe in terms of things bad happening, in terms of demons, all that sort of stuff, but none of them will actually enter into your energetic field unless you give them permission to, because there is a law amongst other souls and amongst other spiritual beings, is that, and this is a law, a universal law, is that they will never go against your free will. And with your free will, you have to give them permission to actually come into your energetic field and help you. It is not something that they will interfere or intrude in your life in any manner or form at all. Now, that's because the universe is a universe of attraction. It's not a universe of intrusion. So they will never intrude or interfere with your life unless you give them permission. And they will wait, no matter how bad things are for you, no matter how bad things appear from your perspective. They will not interfere or intervene unless you give them permission to do so. So just know that when you actually call them in, you're doing it from a place of safety, and you're doing it from a place of absolute unconditional love and security, because they are not there to harm you whatsoever. They are there just to support you and obey your command and your instructions. Right, now that they have come into your space, I want you to really become aware of the energy that's around you right now, or the energy that's within you. You would have felt a shift in the energy of how you were feeling before they entered your space into how you feel now. You would notice a shift. If not, then it's only because you're not attuned to that yet, but just know that they are there. But if you do sense or feel a shift, it'll be very, very subtle. Then I want you to embody and embrace that energy, that shift within your heart, by breathing that energy into your heart more deeply with 3 big, deep breaths. And so breathe in through your nose, hold that breath for a few seconds, and then breathe out through your nose, and do that 2 more times. So breathe in, hold for a few seconds, and breathe out. When you're doing this, you're embodying the energy that's from them into your physical body. Yeah? And what's happening there is that energy is opening up your cells and opening up your expanding them. So you actually open your energetic field more and more and more each time you do that. Right, now you should feel really secure and safe and calm and peaceful, because that's the kind of energies that they would give you. And during this time, as we continue this masterclass, your physical body may start to feel resistant and tension. That's okay. Just allow that to flow through you and just observe that, but do it without judgment, and do it without any labeling, and do it with just acceptance, allowance, and a lot of love. And also breathe at the same time, because that'll just help release all those tensions and that resistance that the physical body is going through while we're actually going through this masterclass. Right, so now that we've called in, we've done a big huge karanga to our soul family and they're in our space, they are going to help you and they're going to help everyone on this call and anyone else who watches this video later on. They're going to help them manifest the intentions that we just created. So now we can actually move into the actual kaupapa, the actual topic of the masterclass, which is, hang on, I've got notes here. Which is the explanation of the spiritual realms and how it actually works and the specific structures that are in place within the universe. Now, even though you can't see them, even though you may not know about them, the universe is very, very structured and very, very hierarchical, right? And so the universe is structured in what is termed levels, for us to truly understand, is in levels, right? But it's in levels of consciousness, yeah? And the levels are akin to the different, what would I say? We'll just keep it at levels so be able to more understand. So the levels exist around the 7 energetic rays of the universe and what's contained within those different levels. So for this masterclass, I'm just going to talk about seven main ones, maybe 8, 7 levels of consciousness. So why levels of consciousness is because the universe is just a field of consciousness. It's infinite intelligence. It's just a big, infinite, beautiful, loving field of energy, which, from a spiritual perspective, is called consciousness. Now, most people, because of the beliefs that they have now, would have no idea what that's about, but that's okay because you don't have to. But what's really important is to understand how it's structured so that you can understand where you actually fit in the wider picture of the universe and how you can make a big huge difference in your life, in the life of your family, and in the life of everyone else that exists on the planet. Not just everyone, but everything that exists on our planet. How you can make a big huge difference on our planet. And so for my whānau back home, so this will be related to our rangi. So the levels of consciousness are all related to our different rangi. And so within each rangi, we have a term. We have different terms for those rangi. So I'm going to be using a lot of Māori words to actually explain the Māori side of things, but I'm not going to translate those words because I don't believe that there are any language words to actually truly do these Māori perspectives or these Māori or our Māori epistemologies. They don't do it justice. So I will just kind of explain it in terms of using analogies and stories. So for our whānau back home, these different levels of consciousness are repelated to our rangi and the different kinds of versions of that rangi, like I o wāngana, I o matua kore, I o matua kore, I o kore kore, and all that kind of stuff, right? So these levels of consciousness are the same, just using different words. So the universe is structured in different levels of consciousness. The first level The seventh level is called the seventh dimension. Yeah. Now, or the 7D. Now, you may have heard a lot of kōrero, a lot of hype, or a lot of people talking about shifting to 3D, or shifting from 3D to 5D or 4D and that, and not really having any freaking idea what that actually means. Yeah. And because a lot of people that I've actually spoken to, and a lot of my clients have no idea what that actually means. And I had no idea what that actually means until I actually started learning about it. So when we're talking about 7 dimensions, or the 7th dimension, or 7D, we are actually talking about, so a 7D or 7 dimensions means that there is one moment of time within 7 dimensions of space. So that's 7D. That's what 7D means. 7 dimensions means 6 dimensions of space plus 1 dimension of time. Yeah. And so within our dimension is all the different realms and parallel worlds that exist in that dimension. So that 7th dimension is the oversoul, is where the oversoul is. So above that is the universe, God, Io Matua Kore, source energy, whatever it is for you. Yeah. So above the oversoul is God, source energy, the universe. Okay. Now the universe breaks itself off into different expressions of itself, and the first expression of itself is the oversoul. The oversoul is responsible for every single soul that's on earth. So there are about 6-7 oversouls that are responsible for a group of souls. Yeah. Now below the oversoul, moving to the 6th dimension, which has 5 dimensions of space and 1 moment of time, is the soul, the individual soul, the soul that you truly are. Yeah. So you are a soul, you are a spiritual light being that is an expression of the oversoul, that is an expression of the universe, or Io Matua Kore, or source energy. It is a part of, it is a expression, it is a divergence, whatever it is for you, it's just a part of the universe itself. Right, so that 7th dimension is the oversoul, the 6th dimension coming down is the soul, the individual soul, which is who you really are. Now in the 5th dimension, there is 4 dimensions of space and 1 moment of time. Now that dimension belongs to the higher mind. The higher mind is like the working parts of the soul, which is who you really are. Yeah. So that's the 5th dimension, and this is the dimension where there is a lot of discussion on earth of where we're actually shifting to. Now a lot of people are scared about that because they don't truly understand what that actually means. So when people are talking about you shifting to the 5th dimension, all that means is that you're shifting there consciously. So you are shifting from one dimension to another consciously, on a conscious level. Your physical body still stays where it is, but your consciousness means that you become more aware of who you really are, and you're becoming more aware of the spiritual realms and how it actually works in connection to your physicality. That's all it means. It's not mean that you're going to die or that you are going to fall off the planet. That's not what it means. All it means is that you're going shifting consciously. You're shifting and becoming more aware of who you really are and what you really are. So that's all it means. So the 7th dimension is the oversoul, the 6th dimension is the soul, the 5th dimension is the higher mind, and then below the 5th dimension, which is the most incredible dimension, is your template reality. This is where your blueprint is. This is where it actually exists. Now, when we're talking dimension, we are talking in levels of consciousness in a moment of time. Because there is only one moment of time in the universe. There is no past, there is no future, there is only the now, the present moment, which is known as the moment of time. Now, within the 4D is the blueprint of your physical reality. It's the blueprint that you, the soul, has agreed to lay out into its physical reality. So the 4th dimension is your template reality, where you can access to find out your purpose, is to find out your mission, your soul purpose, your soul mission. But it's also to discover your visions, your goals, your desires, and your intentions. So, and this is why a lot of people don't truly I'm going to go back a bit. This is why a lot of people feel lost and confused, and always asking this one question: why am I here? What is the purpose of life? Who am I? I used to ask that question a lot. And the answers are found within that level of consciousness. Now, the amazing thing is, the other name given for the blueprint of reality, of your reality, your specific individual reality, the other name given for the blueprint of reality and the template reality is your imagination. So this is where you tap into your imagination and you access that level of consciousness to actually answer all your questions, to actually find out whatever you need to find out. Now we're going to get into how you actually access that and how you actually use that dimension tomorrow, because that's the nuts and bolts of everything. But right now I'm just laying down the foundations of how everything works and why it's really, really important for you to understand these structures. Yeah, in these different levels. Right, now, below the 4th dimension, which is your blueprint of reality, is your higher 3D. And this is where your how would I put it? This is where your physicality is coming. This is where your physical mind comes into things. So above your physical mind is your blueprint, is your imagination and your temperate reality and your higher mind. Now, in your higher 3D, which is 2 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time at the higher level, is your your subconscious mind. Your unconscious mind, sorry. I get confused with that because I don't actually, but I'm just laying out just so you can truly understand. So below the template reality is your unconscious mind. Okay, so your unconscious mind is your mind and body working together as one. So that lives in this physical reality, this 3D reality that you're actually experiencing right now. That level, that dimension, that level of consciousness is closer to your blueprint and your higher mind, because you are using your unconscious mind to actually access your imagination, and the communication that you need to communicate with is your higher mind. Your higher mind is the working part of your soul, right? And so those are the 3 main structures that you truly, really need to understand that are above your physical body and that actually exist in the spiritual realms. Now, in the lower 3 dimension are your belief systems and your emotions. Yeah? So, To begin with, we have the 7th dimension, which is your oversoul. Then we have your 6th dimension, which is your individual soul. And then your 5th dimension is your higher mind. And then under that, your 4th dimension is your blueprint of reality and your imagination. And below that is the higher part of your 3rd dimension, which is 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time, which is the dimension that you're living in right now, that you are aware of right now. Yeah, is your subconscious mind. Yeah. Now, below that, below your subconscious mind is your beliefs and your emotions, and below those ones, which is your part, is the lower part of your 3rd dimension, is your thoughts, and then your automatic behaviors and habits, which is your automaticity, which everything happens automatic for you. And then below that, the lowest level is the collective consciousness of the planet, is every other person's consciousness. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. Now, to actually truly understand that, and I know that's a lot of information to give in just a short period of time, so to truly understand and get a picture of these structures, what we're going to do now, we're going to do an activation to help you actually truly understand what this actually can feel like for you. It's not so much about what it looks like, it's more about what it will feel like for you. Now, I can describe it for you, but for me, I want you to create, and I want you to imagine what this structure can look like and feel like and sound like for you. Yeah? And so what we're going to do, we're going to do an activation right now. And to do that, I would like you just to, if you want to lie down, you can lie down, or if you can just sit up and make sure that your back is straight and your posture is actually straight. And then I just want you to close your eyes. Yeah. Now I want you to imagine that you're nice and relaxed, and just breathe. And while your eyes are closed, I want you to look down with your eyes closed. I want you to look down at your heart and place your hand on your heart if you have to. Because what we're doing here is we're actually pulling your energy into your heart. So wherever you place your attention, anywhere on your body, your energy will follow you. Whatever you focus on, your energy will follow. So just focus on your heart and feel the energy from your head, and just pull it down and focus it into your heart. That's it. Excellent. Now feel your heart pulsate, and while it's pulsating, even if you can't feel it, just know that it is. And while it is pulsating, it can get stronger and stronger. The more you focus on your heart, the stronger it will pulsate, and the stronger the sensations will be. Whatever it is for you is absolutely perfect. And then silently in your mind, I want you to request that all the energy that's flowing into your heart and moving and shifting implodes into every cell of your being with total ease, total grace, and total flow. That's it. And you will feel the energy from your heart just slowly disperse throughout your entire body. Excellent. Now I'm going to shift you up into your imagination, which is your 4th dimension of consciousness. So there are 3 levels of consciousness in there in one moment of time. So you are shifting into a different moment of time, and you're experiencing your imagination and your template reality. And what you're going to do is you're going to imagine that there's a funnel above your head, above your crown. Now you can make it, the funnel, as big as small and wide and narrow as you like. So that's it. Excellent. So the funnel, the wide part of the funnel, you can make it wide as you like. And then the hole that's in the middle of the funnel, you can make it as big or small as you like. And then the narrow part of the funnel, you can make it as narrow as you are comfortable with. That's it. Now allow the energy of that funnel just to flow through you. That's it. And down your spine, down through your arms, shoulders. Excellent. And you should feel it just disperse in the back of your body, and then out and then in front. And you can feel it flowing down to your hips, down to your thighs, your knees, your calves, and down through your feet. And feel that energy there. Now, depending on how comfortable you are, I want you to see if you can feel how narrow the narrow part of the funnel is. That's it. And how wide the top part of the funnel is. Is the top part of the funnel wider than your shoulders, or a little bit, or not so wide? That's it. Does the top part of the funnel go beyond the width of your shoulders? And if you open up your arms, if you stretch your arms out, does the top of the funnel go beyond your arms? If not, that's absolutely fine. Just get a sense of how wide the top of the funnel is and how narrow the funnel, the bottom part, the narrow part of the funnel is. And just be aware of how big the hole is within your funnel. Right. Now, if you feel any discomfort at all, I just want you to move your body from side to side. So you're just moving it, you're just moving the energy around. Because what you've introduced to your physical body is something that it's not used to. So it will actually create a little bit of resistance and a little bit of tension, which is okay. So you're just going to move your body around until you rewire your body to become used to this energy that's flowing through you. Now, above your head, you may feel a lot of warmth or coolness. You may feel as if something's pressing on your head, or you may feel that pressure on your shoulders, flowing down the back of you. You may feel heat in your forehead, you may feel coolness, you may feel like it's really hot or warmth. Whatever that is happening for you, just know that it's energy flowing through you. You may not feel any of that at all, which is absolutely perfect. You may feel tingles going through your body, you may not. Right, now. Okay, now to show you how the structure works, I want you to imagine that the narrow part of the funnel, which is flowing through you, I want you to imagine that you are in a well. There's no water in it, it's just an empty well, right? Excellent. And the wider part of the funnel is floating way above you. You can see it, but it's floating way above you. There's big huge light above you. It's the wide part of the funnel. But I want you to imagine that you are in a well. You can see above you, but all around you, depending on how wide your well is kind of dark. You can't see in front of you, you can't see the back of you, you can't see on the left or right of you, or you can't see anything below you, but you can see the light above you. It's shining down on you, right? Okay, now, excellent, everything's starting to fall into place. Now I just want you to feel comfortable being in this well, because you should be, because the well where you are right now represents your level of consciousness that you are right now. So this represents everything that exists within your 3D level of consciousness. Now everybody is at this 3D level of consciousness. Yeah, most of humanity is at this level, where they are in a well that's not so wide, that's only allowing them to see a small part of who they are and what they are, and only really seeing a small part of their reality, right? Now, in terms of the structure, you are at the bottom of the structure. You are living in a 3-dimensional physical reality, which is absolutely perfect, because that's where all humans are, right? And so for you right now, if you are feeling stuck, if you are feeling uncomfortable, if you are experiencing lots of challenges, if you're experiencing lots of difficulties and hard times in your life, it's because you are living at this level of consciousness, which is not that wide. Yeah, and there's only a small part of you that you can actually see, and that small part of you is just everything that you're experiencing in your physical reality right now. Now, within that part of you, within your 3rd dimension, you are with all your belief systems, you are with all your emotions, all your thoughts, right? You are with your physical mind and your body your physical mind and your physical body. You are with your unconscious mind and your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. So all of that is contained within this well. Yeah, which is the lowest level of the structure, which is physical reality. That's what exists in physical reality, right? So there are 2 dimensions of space and only 1 moment of time, right? And what that means is that the frequencies that are in that part of your dimension are low, right? Because you've got all of your collective consciousness, you've got all your automatic habits, you've got your belief systems, you've got your emotions, you've got your thoughts, you've got your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your unconscious mind, all within this physical reality that you are actually living in, which is at the bottom of the structure, which is physical reality, which is our planet. And the amount of energy, frequencies, and vibrations that are on this planet, all right? So they are low. They are low because you're at the bottom of the different levels of consciousness, right? Now, consciousness consists of different vibrations and frequencies and energies, right? And so if you're at the bottom of the different levels of consciousness, you're in a physical reality. You live in a physical world. And you are attached to that world and everything that consists within that reality. Now, above you is the light. So you're in a well, but you can see above you, you can see the sky, and you can see the clouds, and at night you can see the stars, right? Now, if you want to change what's happening around you within your well. If you want to make it wider, which you're actually making the narrow part of your funnel wider, you're going to have to shift up to a different level of consciousness, which is the 4D. So when you are shifting your different levels of consciousness from the 3D to the 4D, you are moving into a dimension that has 2 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time, or 3 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time, because 3 and 1 is 4, right? Which means that you're shifting yourself up to recognizing and becoming more aware of your template reality. You're becoming more aware of your imagination and how you can access and use your imagination to change what's happening below it, what's happening within your 3D reality, which is in your physical reality. Now, the more time you spend in your 4th dimension, in your imagination, the wider your funnel gets, the wider the narrow part of your funnel gets, right? And so the more time you're spending in your imagination in the 4th dimension, you are shifting, you are becoming more aware of what's really around you, of what you truly are and who you truly are. And so when you are expanding your consciousness, when you are opening yourself up more to what's above you, you are changing your 3D reality. Now, once you become really good at using and accessing everything that you have access to in your 4th dimension, and you become really good at that, you are masterful at that, you shift up into your 5th dimension, where there's 4 dimensions of space and 1 dimension of time. Now, your physical body is still in the well, but your well is wider. It's wider on both sides. It's wider in the front of you, it's wider above you, and it's wider below you. All right, so just imagine that you're in this beautiful well and it's changed, it's opened up more light's coming into it, because you've shifted your level of consciousness, you've expanded your awareness of who and what you truly are. Therefore, whatever you change above you, it must change what's below you. It has to, it's law. This is how it is. It just is. Whatever you change above you, the energies, the vibrations and frequencies that you access and that you use to help you change where you're at, will shift everything for you. It'll make that bottom part of your well wider. It'll make it lighter. It'll make it more comfortable. And all the challenges that you have been facing will no longer affect you, because you're bringing in different energies. You're bringing in higher energies into your 3D reality. Now, when you're accessing all the energies and frequencies that are in the 4th dimension, they're in the level of consciousness that's above you, you are bringing those new energies down into your physical reality. You are bringing them into the well. And so what happens there is you're bringing more light from above down into your well, so you can see more, so you can see better, so you can see with more clarity and more focus, right? Now, while everything is above you, you have been asking where you are right now in your life. You have been asking for lots and lots of help. You've been praying to God. You've been asking questions. You've been asking for help, right? And the universe, your soul, your higher mind, the oversoul, the universe, the oversoul, everything that's above you has been giving you all the help you need. So just imagine that your soul is the helicopter that's above you, right? And you've yelled out to it for help, and it's dropped a rope down to you so that you could actually reach it and climb up, right? Now, when you grab hold of it and you climb up, what you're actually doing is you're actually shifting yourself to receive that help. And so you're shifting yourself to expand yourself more, to become more acceptive and to receive the help that's been given to you. But because you're still in the bottom of the well and it's still dark, you're not able to receive or to access all the help that's been given to you because of the lower vibrations that you are still operating, that you are still giving out to everything that's above you. So I hope that makes sense. So you could be trying to grab the rope that the helicopter, which is the soul, you could be trying to grab the rope, or it could be like, just imagine that they've dropped a chair or carrier so you can jump on and they can pull you up, right? But the thing is, if you remain where you are, if you remain within your 3D level of consciousness, you will reject all that help. You will not be able to access it because you are closed off. You're not able to see, you're not able to perceive what's been given to you. So you're not able to see the helicopter dropping everything down for you, which is what your soul and the universe are actually doing. So whenever you ask for help for you may be in a relationship that you're not happy with. You're asking for help to actually help you solve it. You have no money in your bank account. You're actually asking for help for the universe to give you more money, to give you more love, to give you a partner, to give you a better job, and so on. But because you're still in a lower level of consciousness, you're not able to receive or perceive or receive the help that the universe is giving to you. It's been given to you, but because everything's still dark around you, you're not able to perceive it. And when you start expanding and when you start opening yourself up to different levels of your consciousness, of awareness, that's when you start seeing everything that the universe has given to you. I hope that makes sense. So 3D is here's where you're living now, is where physical reality is causing you a lot of difficulty. Now, if you have decided that you've had enough of living the way you are, and just that one decision that you're actually done, so the moment that you say, I'm done with this shit, I've had enough of this crap, right? You open yourself up to shifting. You have shifted your consciousness to a higher level, right? Just by making that decision, you shift automatically and instantly, because the universe is waiting for you at the bottom of the well to actually make a decision, but actually stick with it, right? So whatever choice you make, whatever decision you make, whatever help and support you ask for, the universe will give it to you. And the moment that you receive that through gratitude, it opens you up to widening the well that you're in. Now, as you get better at using your imagination to help you change your physical reality that you're in right now, you can shift up to your 5D dimension of consciousness or level of consciousness, where you are in contact with your higher mind. So the higher mind is the helicopter, right? And so to get to the higher mind, to get to the helicopter, and so you're actually in the helicopter instead of in the well. When you get to that part, when you get to the 5 dimension, or the 5th dimension, or 5th level of consciousness, you are actually aligned and connected to your higher mind, which is the true and most powerful part of yourself. Now, to get there, all it takes is for you to be more aware of who and what you truly are. And this is all about truly knowing your true, authentic identity, which is you are a spiritual light being that is having a human experience through your physical body. When you get to truly understand your identity, this is where identity work comes into play, then you are truly aligned to your higher mind. And it just takes a heart and mind coherence with the higher mind to actually do that. And you do that from your 4th dimension, or your 4th level of consciousness. You move up to the 5th dimension, where you are connected totally to your higher mind, where you are in your true power, your true potential, where you are stepping up to be the highest version of yourself, where you are able to express yourself authentically from your true, neutral and authentic place of being. And so once you're able to do that, then you change everything that's in your well. You change everything that's in your physical reality. You change what you're experiencing. You widen your consciousness, which means you widen the bottom part of your funnel. You widen how narrow it is. You make it wider, so that everything is flowing to you like a funnel right around you. So energy flowing around you is wider than your entire physical body, and it's wider all around you, in front of you, at the back of you, on the sides of you, but also above and below you. So everything is more expansive, because the more you expand your consciousness, the more you become aware of who you truly are. You open up your consciousness to operate at the different levels of your entire beingness. So when you get to align and connect with your higher dimension, you feel like you are sitting at the top of the funnel and you are floating above it, to the point where you feel absolutely safe, secure, you feel free, you feel loved, you feel passionate and excited about who you truly are. And so when you shift your consciousness to feeling like that, that is when you have truly become a conscious manifester of your entire life. And so once you feel that within you, when you feel loved and absolutely secure and safe and loved, unconditionally loved, then only those energies will flow down to where you are creating and being within your physical reality. And even when you do have challenges, when obstacles come up in your life, they are just like they feel like a duck when it's in water, because it's just something that you can handle, that you can deal with instantly, because It's not going to bother. Those kind of things are not going to bother you, because you feel that way constantly when you are connected, when your consciousness, when you have expanded your consciousness to be in that space where you are loved, where you are safe and secure, where you trust everything, and you are certain and convinced about who you truly are, then everything below you changes. So your physical reality changes as well, and aligns to you being where you are in your fifth dimension, or your fifth level of consciousness. And so when you are becoming or being a conscious manifester, all you are doing is shifting your consciousness, expanding your consciousness, expanding your awareness and perception of your true identity and who you truly are. And when you're doing that, you are receiving all the blessings, all the goodness, all the love, all the passion, all the stuff. You are receiving all the beautiful, perfect synchronicities that you deserve, that you are worthy of, that you have asked for. You're receiving that instantly, because you truly understand who and what you truly are. So that's the whole concept of becoming a conscious manifester. You become a conscious manifester when you truly understand who you are and what you are, to the point where nothing that you experience in your physical reality bothers you, because you just know that wherever you are is absolutely perfect for you, and whatever you're experiencing you can handle, you can deal with, because you are being in your place of total neutrality, of total blissfulness, of being tranquil and calm and peaceful, and harmonizing who you really are in that place of neutrality. And so it is. So I hope that has made sense to you. Yeah? So at the moment you're in 3D level of consciousness, which involves experiencing all the negative parts of the physical reality, your emotions, your thoughts, other people's energies, other people's frequencies, and trying to work out how that all fits in with what you're actually supposed to be doing as you are living, as you are experiencing being a spiritual being on a physical planet. Yeah? So right now you're in your third dimension, which is in your physical reality. And to become a conscious manifester, you need to shift up to your fourth dimension, so you become more and more aware of your true identity and who you truly are. Then you moved up into your fifth dimension, where you actually connect to your most powerful self, which is with your higher mind, which is with your soul, where you can actually sit and be and live at the top of your funnel, and all you are doing is flowing all the energies, everything that you've asked for, down into your physical reality. So that's what being a conscious manifester truly is all about. So I hope that has helped you truly understand how the structure works and where you actually sit in that kind of structure, knowing that whatever space you're in right now, whatever you perceive yourself to be right now, is absolutely perfect, because you have to start from somewhere. Whatever place you're at right now, wherever you are in your life, is absolutely perfect for you, because you cannot go anywhere else unless you accept that fact. Accept the fact that whatever's happening to you right now is absolutely perfect. It's where you're meant to be, because you can't move to a higher level of consciousness if you don't accept where you are right now, because that means that you're rejecting your identity, you're rejecting who you truly are, and you're rejecting the part of your spiritual self, right? So, to shift up to a higher level of consciousness so that you can start shifting and changing what you're experiencing in your life, so you can actually become or start being a conscious manifester of what you truly want, is first to be very happy and grateful for what you're experiencing right now, even if it's shit, even if it's crap, because I've been there, right? I've got myself into some really shitty and crappy situations, right? And what I've learned is, once you accept where you are right now, you're accepting yourself as who you truly are. You're accepting that this is where you're at and you're okay with that. Because once you accept and love and appreciate and be grateful for where you're at in your life right now, you have more options to actually start creating something different in your life. But now you know the different structures, the different levels of consciousness, you're able to create a vision, you're able to create a pretty much idea of where you want to shift to. Because if you didn't know about the structure, then you would have no idea about where you're going. All right? Because when people have visions, or when people have goals or perceptions of where they want to move to, they're moving within the bottom of the well, but they're moving wider, right? And they're moving deeper within that dimension. But they don't think to actually go up, to actually look up and start thinking of how they could get there. How can I get to the next level of consciousness? How can I become more conscious, more aware of who I truly am? How can I get myself out of this shit? All right? And so, and you can say that in a really happy and glad way. You can say, universe, how the hell can I get myself out of the shit that I'm in, right? But you can say that with a lot of passion and a lot of excitement, because now you know the different structures that you can actually aim for, that you can actually shift to. Then you can say to the universe, hey, I'm really happy about where I am right now, but I want to shift into a higher dimension. How can I do that, right? And then once you do that, once you ask the universe for help to shift you to a different dimension, to a different level of consciousness, then you allow yourself, you give yourself the opportunity to open yourself up, to receive all that you need to receive, to actually shift to a different dimension, which means that you are grabbing the rope in your well, in the well that you're in, and you're grabbing your rope and you're pulling yourself up. Because when you're actually pulling yourself up, you're actually taking responsibility for your life. You're taking responsibility for what you actually want to experience in your life, right? Because if you're not doing that, if you're not pulling yourself up, if you're not willing to actually get yourself out of the shit that you're in, or that you perceive yourself to be in, then you're going to stay there. And you're going to allow other people to actually try and do it for you. Yeah? So, to become a conscious manifester, all you need to think about is, how do I get to the next level of consciousness? How do I shift dimensions? And that's what being a conscious manifester is truly about. A shifting dimensions so you can learn. So you can learn more about who and what you truly are. Because if you remain where you are, you keep being your limited physical self, which is not who you truly are. Because you are a beautiful, powerful, conscious manifester, and you can create anything that you want. You can have anything that you want, that you've ever dreamt of. You can have it. All you need to do now to receive it is to learn how to shift yourself consciously into the higher dimensions that you have access to, that you can actually operate at. And you do that by just pulling all those different energies that are above you into your physical reality, which we will go in tomorrow. So now you've learnt the structure. Tomorrow we're going to go into the nuts and bolts of how you can pull yourself out of the well by just opening yourself up to all that the universe gives you. We'll go into the nuts and bolts of that tomorrow. So beautiful, beautiful goddesses. I hope this has helped you. And I hope this has been of value for you, because it has been so helpful and valuable for me. Because in doing this, I've actually expanded myself more and more and more and more. And so when you're receiving information, to actually expand yourself more is to actually share that information. Yeah? Now, whether you share it with other people is entirely up to you. But when you share it with absolute no hesitations, and you just share it because you're excited about sharing it, but you're also sharing it from a place of love, and you're not worried, or you're not going to give a crap about how other people will respond to what you've just shared from this video. Because in sharing anything that you experience, you shift yourself more and more and more into higher dimensions. And here is the secret that I've been told to tell you now. Most people don't know this, but you are shifting into higher dimensions every nanosecond of your life. So every moment is filled with billions and billions of nanoseconds. So within every moment, you have shifted into different parallel worlds billions of times, right? Now you don't know that because you're not aware that's what's happening. And you are not perceiving those changes because you are experiencing the same moment, because remember there's only one moment of time. You are experiencing the same moment, but from different perceptions of it, of that same moment. And until you become more aware of how you're perceiving that moment that you're experiencing every minute, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, if you are not aware of the subtle changes or perceiving these changes that you are going through really, really quickly in a moment, and that one moment when you experience something, then you can open up your consciousness and shift very quickly into those higher levels of consciousness, or into the higher dimensions. You can shift into them very, very quickly when you to start perceiving your physical reality as different. Because when you're shifting into different parallel realities, every nanosecond you are shifting into a new reality, a new identity, a new universe, a whole entirely new world. This is just how it is. And I'll go into that tomorrow. But that is what is happening while you are within the structure, while you are within this wow, while you're in your physical reality, okay? So you are shifting billions and billions and billions and billions of nanoseconds within a moment into a totally different reality, a totally different new identity. Literally, you are changed. Your entire identity has already changed. You're gone into a new universe, a new parallel world, because everything exists all at the same time. Everything exists right now, all simultaneously at the same time. Right? So, while you've watched this video, while I have been sharing all this information with you, I have shifted billions and billions and billions of time into different identities and different realities and different universes, and I can feel that. I can feel that because there is no tension in my body. I can feel that because I feel incredible and I feel amazing. And so when you start perceiving how you are feeling energetically, that's when you open. That's when you expand your consciousness, and when you start shifting quickly into your different dimensions. And this is what quantum leaps and quantum jumps are all about, is you perceiving those shifts and those jumps while you are just watching this video. But I'm going to go into more of that in tomorrow, because that's the nuts and bolts. So that's the crux of the kind of work that you have to do, of what you have to do to actually start creating the physical reality that you truly want to experience. So, lovelies, I hope that has been of value to you, and I've enjoyed sharing this information to you all, and I hope to see you tomorrow, and I have no qualms that about anything, that you will receive whatever you need to receive, whatever you ask for at the right time, in the right space, in the right moment. Even if it's not now, there will always be other nows that you'll be able to receive and view this video. So, if you have any questions about what I've said, if you have any comments, if you want to make any statements, if you want to give me any feedback, then please drop them in this video below. I will get back to you. I'll read them all and I will reply. And I hope to see you all tomorrow, where we get into the nitty-gritty of how you can work within the structure, or how you can live in a energetic universe as a spiritual and physical being at the same time within the present moment. And so it is. So beautiful, lovelies. Right, so I'm just going to close off right now. There's a lot of energies within this container. There's a lot of energies flowing through me, so we are just going to close off. We are just going to close off this spiritual container. And I'll explain what that is tomorrow. We're going to close off this spiritual container for today, so that whatever needs to be done can be done. So I send and give my love, my appreciation for all that have been with us throughout this time, throughout these incredible moments that we've shared together. I thank you with absolute appreciation and gratitude for all that you have shared with us, for all that you have done with us, for all that you are completing, for all that you have completed, and for preparing us for our next time together. I thank you with so much love and gratitude, and I now release you to return back to where you belong with absolute ease, grace and effortlessness. It is done, so be it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, lovelies. We will see you tomorrow. Mauri ora koutou.